Let's get rocking and rolling. I know you guys missed the mindset call last week. Um and I want to say that today's topic, I was thinking this afternoon about where we are as a group, where we're headed, and I was looking at some of the books that I've read, and I said, what is the most relevant topic to speak about today? And and I was just looking through some of my notes, things that I've highlighted in different books that I've read, and it just stood out to me: the growth zone. Okay, and I'll speak a bit slower because I can see Alexandra's translating. And you have to get to a place of growing, because you can be flat like this, be taking action but not growing. And so I've got some notes here. So if I look down, it's just that I'm looking at my notes and I want to make sure that I cover the main topics that stood out to me, of things that I've done, things that I've read and applied. And the main thing I want to start with is that growth happens when you're not ready to do something, but you just take the action anyway. That is when you start to grow. When I look back at when I first started in this industry, or when I first started trading, I was not ready to present when I first started. I had no presentation skills. I was a horrible speaker, but I took the action. And I'm going to share something with you in terms of you grow when you're uncomfortable. If you're comfortable right now in where you are, and you're comfortable because you're comfortable, but actually you're uncomfortable. What do I mean by that? You're comfortable where you are right now, but you're uncomfortable about where you are right now. And what do I mean by that? I mean, are you really at the place where you're happy? You can say, you know what? I've achieved everything I want to achieve. I'm completely financially free. And so I don't need to do anything new. I don't need to grow. You have to ask yourself that question. Because once you ask yourself that question, and if the answer is no, then that allows you to put you in a mindset of, okay, I'm going to be open to learning. And you've got many mentors here on this call, and they can guide you as to what do you need to learn. And so you have to get to a place of being humble enough to say to your mentor, listen, I know you know me well. You've been working with me. I need to give you, I want an honest opinion. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Where do you believe I need to grow? Because you can't grow with an ego. You cannot grow with an ego of, I know it all. Okay. I want to say welcome to Janet. I see her on the call. I know she hasn't got a camera on, but I take my hat off to her because she's someone that has had a lot of success in this industry. And the first thing she said to me is, treat me like a new person. I don't want you to treat me like someone that's already successful, because this is a new project. And so I go into anything new I'm doing, I go into it with that mindset of, I know I am going to be uncomfortable. I know I'm going to be uncomfortable. I know I'm not going to be ready to do the things that I'm going to do. But no one, Janet's put a camera on now as well. Welcome, Janet. I know that in order for you to have the right behaviors in your life, you have to have the right belief system. And so when I talk about not only trading or the business or action you're taking in your life of something you want to succeed, it all comes from the belief system that you have. But what impacts your belief system? Do you think that you've chosen your beliefs, or were your beliefs given to you by your surroundings, the environment you were brought up in, the people that had influence over your life? You see, it's only once I started to realize that the beliefs that I have, I didn't choose the belief system that I had at that point. Before I started getting into personal development and working on me, I didn't choose the belief system. The belief system was given to me by the people that influenced my life. And I allowed unconsciously to influence my life. And so you will believe what you see. This is what happens. When you're growing up and you're in an environment, and what you can see around you, if you can see a lack around you, that's what you believe. If you're feeding your mind with lack, because that's what you've seen around you, you weren't aware of the impact of the things that you're seeing around you, then that's the belief system that you have. If you grow up in an environment where no one's making over 100,000 a year or a million a year, then you don't believe you can make 100,000 a year, a million a year, because that's what you're seeing. And I'm just talking about financially. If you are in an environment where you see a couples or married couples or boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're showing love in a certain way, or they're always arguing, your belief system is that marriage or being a boyfriend and girlfriend, my belief system is that is normal. You're always going to be arguing. Is this making sense? So once you understand that, and you're able to identify what I'm seeing is what I believe internally. These beliefs have been given to me, and especially if they're repeated constantly over a period of time, of you're constantly seeing the same things, that's what reinforces and makes it a very strong belief. So only once you change what you're seeing repeatedly can you start to create a new belief system for yourself. See, I didn't believe I could grow to be a different person because of what I was around. I went to school, got a good education, went to university, and that's because that's what everyone around me was doing. So now in my head, I'd always thought about being a millionaire, but I didn't believe it was possible because what I saw around me. And so once I started to change environments and meet different types of people, I started to see different things, I started to expose myself to people from a similar background that I had achieved high levels of success, whether it be in relationships, financially, health. Once I start to see it with my own eyes repeatedly, that's when the belief system changed for me. Now you have to ask yourself, what are you seeing every day? Are you just allowing the world to just show you stuff and you just take it in? Or are you consciously making an effort of seeing the right things daily? Of experiencing it? I'm constantly going to the neighborhood and area that I see myself living in, because I want to see it so I can experience it. I can tell you that I've had so many moments that I said this is possible. It's a belief system for me now. I remember seeing Mr. Avinash Nagamar. We went to an event in Las Vegas last year, and I remember seeing him give a bag of 300,000 US to one of his team members to look after, and he took 30,000 out because he wanted to go to the casino. I remember seeing that and just say, and it was so normal for him that my belief system, all these little things that I had experienced and seen with my own eyes, started to change my belief system. I'd never seen that much money in my life, not in front of me, and not in cash. And because it was so normal for him, these are the things that changed my belief system. I hope this is making sense. You don't do the opposite. You don't stay away from things that scare you because you feel like, I can't afford it right now. How many of you, be honest, I used to do this, don't want to walk into certain stores because you're in your head, you're like, financially, I can't afford this right now. I can't afford to shop here. But you're doing it backwards. Remember, if you want to have something, you have to have it in your mind first. You have to have it in your spiritual. You have to have it in your spirit. So I was that person because the people around me, what I was seeing is that they wouldn't go into places that they feel that I couldn't afford that. But I'll tell you what happened to me is I started to go into these places of things that I can't afford right now. I still do it. Why? Because it makes my desire stronger. It makes my desire stronger. It makes me more creative. This is all part of growing. And so these are the types of things that I highly recommend you start to do. Go to places you know you can't afford to be there. And this is something that I know Mr. Bugs does, which is why with our events, he knows most people can't afford to go to the hotels and stay in the places that he has events. He knows it, but he wants you to experience it, because once you see it and you have that experience, I can tell you, I saw the look on Kathleen's face when she went to Dubai for the boot camp, and she saw the hotel we were staying. I Kathleen was smiling from ear to ear. She was smiling all the whole time. Why? Because she felt different being in that environment. And so these are the types of things you need to do if you want to grow. I am telling you, put yourself in the position of doing things you know you can't afford, yeah, and experience it, even if it's just for one night. Go to a hotel that you can't afford to stay there for a week. Stay there for one night. See what happens to your belief system. Go to a restaurant, you know you can't afford a meal, but just go and buy a drink there and sit in that restaurant. Like I said, you'll be uncomfortable, but it will push you to grow. You will be uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable many, many times, still uncomfortable. Okay. And so I'm just looking at my notes here. This is something that I had to do, is ask myself, well, what are my beliefs about relationships, around finances, about what I should do with money? I never asked myself that question my whole life until I met Mr. Nagamar and Mr. Hunt. They asked me the question, do you even understand money? How it works? Do you understand the purpose of it? These are the things that I started to look at. It wasn't until I started to build a relationship with Mr. Hunt that I really started to focus on my health. I was working out, but it wasn't until I met Mr. Hunt, until he made me focus on becoming healthier. Because my belief system that I'd grown up around is you don't leave anything on your plate. Being from the Caribbean, you leave food on your plate, it means you're ungrateful. I may be already full, but I could continue eating because of the culture. The type of food I would eat because of the culture. And so these are the types of things where I have to start questioning myself, is why do I have this belief system? Why do I believe that I have to save for a rainy day? Who gave that belief system to me? Why have I believed the whole time through my childhood to becoming an adult that I have to buy a house and get a mortgage? Why have I had that belief system? Like I said, the influences, the environment. But in order to start changing those belief systems, you need new information. You also need new sight, but you need new information. You need to see new things, but you need to new information to understand, okay, well, this is how I can start to adjust my life to have something that I've never had. I never used to think about investing money. I never used to think about it because that language was not spoken around me. And so these are the things that you have to start questioning these beliefs and start getting new information. This is my favorite book right now that I'm reading. It's called The Diary of a CEO. And this gentleman, Stephen Bartlett, he's got a podcast. Many of you probably have seen him. He's 32 years old. I'm 32 years old, but he's a multi millionaire. So I start to question, well, we're the same age, how is he a multi-millionaire? The only difference between me and him is the information that he's had and what he's implemented into his life. That have created different belief systems for him than what that was than me. And so you don't want to try and so when you're communicating now, and even for me communicating, I don't try and change someone's belief system. If somebody says trading is a scam to me, I won't try and change their belief system. If someone says network marketing is a scam to me, I won't try and change their belief system. What I will do is I'll educate. I will ask them the question, I will ask them the question, do you know what the banks do with our money? Don't take my word for it. Go and look it up yourself. Now, this is me sharing with you how you can change your own belief system, but also how to impact somebody else's belief system. Because remember, anything new, any new information is called cognitive dissonance. When you have a thought process, a certain thought process, but you have the opposite behavior. So when I challenge your thought process, what happens is now if you're just arguing with that person, now you're attacking their belief system. That is what most people feel. So what you have to do is not attack their belief system. You just give them new information. If it's my idea, you're not going to do it. If it's your idea, you'll do it. So now, this is why I don't convince. I'll guide you and give you the information. This is why I want you to understand. This is why when you're doing a presentation or someone comes onto a present, it's not your job to convince them. It's their job to convince themselves. You give them the information, you show them where to get the correct information. It's now up to them to create a new belief system. And once they have a new belief system, they'll take action to get started. Because it's their idea. If it's their idea, they will stay committed to it. If it's your idea, they won't stay committed to it. They'll start, but they're not going to stay committed. But you can help guide that person. At the start, when I had no idea about how to deal with the objections, I used to think it's no me just giving evidence, evidence, evidence. There's a way of giving evidence, new information to a person. I would ask them, you heard of Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Yes. Well, do you know he's got a book called The Business of the 21st Century, actually recommending network marketing? And it explains why he recommends it. I recommend that you read that book. It might give you new information that you weren't aware of. You see the difference? Rather than saying, "Oh, but your job is a pyramid." You see the difference? Now you're not attacking that person, you're just guiding them. And the more new information that a person gets, the stronger their belief will become. which is why we do these mindset calls, which is why we do the events, which is why Mr. Hunt and the leaders do the live trading calls, and you seeing the testimonials, that increases your belief, even if you haven't got the results yet. Because you're continuously seeing their new information repeated. Now it gives you the belief. Because you're seeing it. And if any of the leaders want to jump in on this as well, then just unmute your line and share. Let me just make sure I get this across the right way as well. But I want to go back to actually there's an image I want to show you. I want to go back to anything new you want to do. You know that what you've done so far, the comfort zone that you're in, isn't created the lifestyle that you want, with that, which is why you're here. So there's something new you have to do. You have to become uncomfortable to become more comfortable. But this is where you have to make a decision. And I'm gonna get this up so you guys can see, because there's different stages of learning. Some of you may have seen this before, some of you haven't, but I want to share this with you. So we have the first stage, which is unconscious incompetence. When you, let's say 4 years ago, I had no idea what trading was. You don't know that you don't know. All of us on this call right now, there's things that we don't know that we don't know. And it's actually what you don't know that you don't know that can take you to the next level. i.e. trading. Let's be honest, how many of you knew what trading was 10 years ago? I'm not talking about since it's become the popular thing now and that everybody talks about it, but be honest, how many of you knew what trading was 10 years ago? Either put it in the chat or unmute. For me, I had no idea what trading was. Yeah, Rhett says not me. So you don't know that you don't know. You're ignorant to the fact that there's other things out there. Colin said no, not me. Marquetta says not me. Miroslav says no idea. So this is what I mean. You don't know that you don't know there's other things out there that can actually make you more money. And so if that is where we are right now after 4.5 years of being part of this company, do you believe that there's still things that you don't know that that can make your life better? I stay in that. I like to stay in that zone of, once I understand something, I like to being I don't know that I don't know. I like to be and understand that I have to grow my awareness. There's many things that I don't know that I don't know. So it keeps me open-minded. But what happens is unconscious incompetence. You have people that say, yeah, I heard about somebody trading before and what their results was. Or I heard about somebody that did network marketing 100 years ago and they didn't succeed. Well, yeah, you don't know what you don't know. You didn't have any personal experience. You just heard about it. So you have a belief system But if you ask that person to explain the belief system of why they believe that trading doesn't work or why they believe network marketing doesn't work, they won't be able to explain it to you. But they have that belief system. And so what will happen is this is which is how you start when it comes to trading. You don't know that you don't know. But now Elevate launches, for instance, some of you, I know most of you or some of you knew about trading before Elevate, but now you have an awareness. You're consciously aware that there was something you don't know. You're conscious about it. This is, for me, the most important part of the journey of learning something new. Because this is the part that you become uncomfortable. Because if you've gone through all of your life thinking that you understand how money works, you understand what the banks do with your money, and now somebody introduced trading to you, and you realize that you didn't know, it makes you uncomfortable. Because let's be honest, most of us, human nature is we don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like being the person that didn't know something. None of us. Most of the time, it's because of the ego. So now, I want to give you another example, unconscious incompetence. Maybe you never knew about network marketing. You start your network marketing journey and you're like, this is going to be easy. Everybody's going to say yes to me. Every person I invite is going to say yes to me. And then now you're aware that you don't know what other people's opinions are. And now you're aware that, oh, there's things that I didn't know. I thought it was going to be easy. No, this is actually a profession. This is actually a skill set. I actually have to learn something new. This is the point most people quit. This is most people quit, not only trading, not only network marketing. This is also when people quit eating healthy. This is also when people quit going to the gym. I thought it was going to be easy. And now I'm feeling a lot of pain in places that I didn't even know I could feel pain in. You don't know that person that you first start dating. Now you know them. You're aware of some of the things that you don't necessarily like. Now that is the point, is you have to make a decision. Is do you want to learn and change? Because this is where the growth happens. This is where you decide, okay, I know that I don't know. I'm aware that there's skills, network marketing wise, I don't know. I don't know how to handle objections. I don't know how to present. I don't know how to trade. I know money is made, but I don't know how to trade. I know the healthy foods to eat. I know I should eat healthy. Let me explain. Let me change that. I know I should eat healthy, but I don't know what I should be eating. I know I should work out, but I don't know where I should start. I know I'm highly emotional, but I don't know how to regulate my emotions. I know I want to make more money, but I don't know how to. I know most millionaires have invested thousands. But I don't know how to handle loss. I know what money is, but I know that I don't understand money. I'm giving you these examples because this is the point here where you decide, okay, I'm uncomfortable, but am I willing to stay in being uncomfortable until I can become comfortable again? But that's how I grow. Because now you consciously have competence. Now you know how to present. Now you know this is the type of food that I should be eating if I want a healthier lifestyle. Now I know this is the type of workout that I should do. Now I know this is the person that I've met 4 or 5 weeks ago, years ago. I know there's things that I don't like, but I'm willing to communicate with that person to build a healthy relationship with them. I know there's certain beliefs that I had that I now am working to change. I know money is made in trading, but now I have to put in the hours, watch the videos on Elevate, and understand that there's going to be a period of time that I don't understand what I'm doing, but I have to keep doing it. Because at some point, I will consciously be able to understand what the chart is doing. That is where you grow. And then the fourth part is you can unconsciously competent. You don't even need to think about it, but you can do it. I can tell you, we've been to so many events. We want to do a workout in the gym. We're with Kern, and we go to work out, and he doesn't even need to think about the workouts. He's just it's in the back of his head. Yeah, this is what we do next. He hasn't written it out. He hasn't consciously said, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. No, it's just he knows what to do. 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 He's done it so many times. You're in that relationship. You've been with them so long that you know what they're thinking. You know what to do to keep that relationship healthy. At first, maybe you're eating unhealthy, and you have to consciously say, you know what, I'm getting rid of this food, and I'm going to consciously start eating this. And then at some point, you just subconsciously, you feel like your taste buds have changed, and you're naturally going for the healthier option. You don't even think about eating the unhealthy option. It comes to you as second nature. At the beginning, I want to talk about trading here so you guys can understand this. When you're conscious competence, you understand that I have to be looking at the charts for hours and hours and hours on end to get an idea of what is happening. Unconscious, you can open the charts in 5 minutes and see, okay, I can see downtrend on a high time frame, small time frame is a retracement. It needs to retrace 38%. I'll just fib, and this is the zone. I can map out a trade in 5 to 10 minutes. What used to take you 4 to 5 hours to see, and now takes you 5 minutes. Now, when somebody gives you an objection, you don't have to think, oh, you don't have to have the sheet up in front of you and saying, we'll say this next. If they say this, then you say, then I respond this way. No, you've heard it so many times, you've done it so many times. You just respond naturally to the objection. And you handle the objection, it's like you're having a conversation. It's not like you're having you're dealing with the objection. You just talk, it feels like that you're just talking to the person, not dealing with an objection. There's a difference between you're dealing with the objection because you're consciously reading the script, to unconsciously you're just being yourself and handling the objection. Do you guys understand what I mean by the difference? The leaders can tell you they've done it so many times, especially with the objections, that they don't have to think about how to handle the objection anymore. But that's how you grow. You see, and I want to go back to the cognitive dissonance. I didn't even know this was a term until I started. I understood it was a behavior, but I didn't understand the term and why it happened. And it spoke about having a thought process, but your behavior is opposite to your thought process. Meaning, someone that smokes, they know smoking kills, but their behavior is opposite to it. They still smoke. And so what happens is, and this, we all do this, you start to make excuses as to why you should smoke. I only smoke at social settings. I'm just giving you an example. Oh, I eat this type of food because that's what my culture, and that's how I grew up. That's the way my family eat. The excuse I used to give is I'm not a morning person. So I didn't go to the gym in the morning because I wasn't a morning person. No, I was lazy. I knew I could get up in the morning, but I wanted to give myself an excuse saying I'm not a morning person so that I didn't have to get up in the morning. How many excuses do we give ourselves to do the things that we know we should be doing? I'm just sharing with you. I know I can trade, but when I have a loss, oh well, the market, the lot size, or the internet signal went out and I didn't see this and the lot size didn't change. And no, my risk management needs adjusting. You see where I'm going with this, guys? Now, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this because I do these things perfectly. No, but in small increments, I change these things. I start to change these things in small increments. I start to change and ask advice. What should I be reading? What should I be listening to? I understand And I've started to understand my own mind more. Okay, when I have a bad day trading, what do? Do I stop and let's say I have a lost day trading? Do I stop and say no, I don't want to trade anymore? That was the old me. No, I do the opposite. What I do now is I go on YouTube and look at the most successful traders and listen to their stories, watch their podcasts. When somebody says no, or when a leader quits in the business, what do? I don't just go and cry. I go and look at the stories of the best networkers in the world. Go and listen to Mr. Bugs' story. I go and listen to the other leaders and success that they're having. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna be honest. So there is a guy. I think I may have spoken about this before. There's a guy that he actually used to be in iBoomerang. Okay, maybe I'm gonna say 3 years ago. Prior, no, maybe a bit longer than that. This is prior to Elevate. Trading wasn't here yet. I connected with him because he's in the UK, or you was in the UK, used to come to the events, and he was part of a different team in the UK. And so I connected with him on social media, following his journey. And then one day I see him, he disappeared off of social media for about a year and a half, pops back up and he's a multi-millionaire. And I'm like, what did he do? When I look at his story, trading. How do you think I started hearing about the funded accounts? Because I watched his story. And I said to David, I was like, do you know Nazir is a multi-millionaire now? This person he didn't even hit director. 2 years ago, he found out about trading. He's now a multi-millionaire living in Dubai, has a large property portfolio, and he's 25 years old. I know him.
What is his name?
His name is Nazir Yerimi.
Thank you.
I look at people like Raja Banks, another trader. Follow him on Instagram, watching his story. I'm watching him making 50 grand a day. I'm watching him when gold was buying last month. I watched him live. He was doing a live trading call, and not trading call, an Instagram live. Watched him make 100,000 US in the space of about an hour and a half with 2 trades. I tell you why I do that to myself, because in my brain, I know what logically, I'm now giving myself more evidence to keep going through the process. Keep my belief high. What do most people do when they have a challenge? They go and find, and this is what I used to do, they go and find other people that will make them feel better by saying, yeah, it's okay. Those things don't work. You have to do the opposite. It's a choice. You have to do the opposite. If you want to keep on growing, you have to do the opposite. I am searching for the things that will increase my belief system. I saw one of the Blue Diamonds, Jake Parton. he was with Mr. Bugs in the US last month. He posted a picture of Mr. Bugs' phone saying he had made 35 million in 17 days trading on his own personal account. 35 million in 17 days. You think that is gonna, I search for these things. So no one can't come and say to me, trading doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work for you because you're not willing to work. But I've created that belief system because of what I am exposing myself to, what I'm seeing. What information I'm taking, who I'm allowing to talk to me. You have to do this. I don't look at the strength of a leader by how well they're doing when everything's going well. I look at the strength of a leader and someone I know can count on, how they respond to adversity. I know who the people are that I can count on when adversity comes because of how they respond. Like I said, that's a choice. It's a choice to keep learning. And I shared with you guys, yes, I lost money in some investments. What did I do? I started getting books, more books on money and increasing my financial IQ. Robert Kiyosaki, this book, I'm reading it over and over and over again. Increasing My Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, that's something I know that I know that I don't know enough about it. I'm gonna go and learn. I know that I have a strategy that is working with trading, but there's a video that I watched, I think it was Wednesday last week, about identifying when price is oversold on a pair. You know, that made me $700 on Thursday last week. In the space of about 5 to 10 minutes. Miriam can tell you, Alexandra can tell you, they were on the call with me. Because I'm aware that there's things that I still don't know. Even if I'm making money with trading, there is things I still don't know. That little bit of information allowed me to know, and I can tell that we have a separate group with the sapphires and above that we share trade ideas. And I shared today that price is oversold, expect it to buy. Because of having the open mind. Understanding that I still need to grow. Understanding that I don't know that I don't know. That's the whole point of having a mentor. There's things that Mr. Hunt and Mr. Nagamov said to me I didn't like, but I understood that I don't know that I don't know. It's the reason why Mr. Nagamov is making millions a month. So there's things that he knows that I don't know. Okay. Now it's a shorter call today. There's nothing else I really wanted to touch on today, but I hope this makes sense of how to get out of your comfort zone and go into your growth zone. Your growth zone is the new lifestyle that you want. The health that you want, the relationships that you want. The finances that you want is all in the growth zone. But to grow, you got to be uncomfortable. I have never put on more muscle lifting the same weight. I've always put on more muscle lifting heavier weights and going through more pain has made me stronger. And you can't find me one person that has done the same thing and got fitter or got healthier or got stronger. You have to do something new. So yes, I'll tell you this last thing is I had a belief. I when I started network marketing, and I'm just sharing with you open. This is just not This is not scripted. This is just my experience. When I started network marketing, I had many people that were telling me, no, 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 no. Be careful. And so I had to go and seek the information to tell me the opposite. I had to go and read the books that told me the opposite. I went and read Business of the 21st Century. I went and watched the interview with Tony Robbins, Anthony Robbins, and Eric Worre talking about network marketing and what Tony Robbins thought of network marketing. I went and did my research, found out that Alan Sugar, who is one of the wealthiest people here in the UK, owns a network marketing company. Richard Branson owns a network marketing company. Ed Millett is involved in network marketing. I went and got the information to help create the new belief system because my belief wasn't strong because I was hearing all the noise around me. And so I needed to get conviction. I needed a strong belief system to be able to take action. And that information is what made my belief stronger. Understanding how business works, understanding leverage and systems. These are the things that increase my belief system. Because you won't be able to take action for something you don't believe. I remember Kathleen going Sapphire. She didn't have the belief. And something happened, conversation with Kern, bang, the belief changed. What happened? The action changed in 2 days. It wasn't the action that changed first. It was the belief that changed first. And then the action proceeded. So I make sure that I am saturating my brain, my mind with things that grow my belief system. There is no doubt in my mind that every single person on this call can become a millionaire just from trading alone. There's no doubt in my mind. Why? Because of all the stories that I watch, all the people that I look at, all the stories that I watch consistently, watching these stories, not just in iBoomerang, outside of iBoomerang. I'm looking for the stories of success. I don't just look at the story. What did they do? Nazaire, yeah, he became multi-millionaire from trading, but how? Started asking questions. He did it with funded accounts. Okay, I can do that. I did 11. I failed at 11 funded accounts before I passed. I don't even, at this point, I don't even care about the failure that has to happen before the success. I don't even care. I just know it's part of the process. I don't care. In my head, this is the goal. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to get there. Because I fill my mind with so much belief about that end goal that it doesn't shake me anymore. It doesn't phase me the way it used to. Because I understand the process. These are the things that you have to do. This is the bit that is easy to do, but because it's so easy and simple to do, most people don't do that bit. So easy to do. Okay. Love you guys. I don't know if there's anyone that has any questions or any comments that anyone wants to share. Let me just make sure I can see the chat. Okay. I think I gave you the example. Alexandra asked for an example, which I shared the example. Colin said it's very important to make sense of it. It is true. Change your environments, change your perspective. Watch people who are doing what you want to do now. Make yourself uncomfortable is required to change. And I'll be honest, the older you get, the harder it is for change, because the stronger the belief system is in your mind. And so it's harder to change. And so let me just give you an example. I was watching a video. I remember my mum sent me a video of this little boy playing with a snake, and one of the deadliest snakes in the world. It's playing. Now, for us, we know that snake is deadly, so we're scared. We have fear. And we've heard it time and time and time again. For the little boy, 3 years old, he doesn't even know what a deadly snake is. So for him, his behavior is just playing with a snake like it's a toy. Because that belief hasn't been put inside him yet to be fearful. It's not cemented. He's too young. He maybe only heard it once. We're only born with two fears: the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Everything else is taught to us. Everything else is taught to us. So you're scared of investing or scared of losing money? That was taught to us by someone. Scared of rejection? Well, that was taught to us by someone. Scared of doing something new? Well, it was taught to us. Fear of taking a trade? Well, that was taught to you. You ask a child to take a trade, they're not going to ask any questions. They're just going to take the trade. And so I hope this is making sense.
Yes, Rowan, it does. It made a lot of sense. And I just want to say that you pictured my present moment and you answered many of my questions. And I have reached a stage where I have been asking, inviting, informing, but that fear from others who have failed so many times to take another chance and to convince themselves that networking is the way to go, they're still fearful. So what I've decided to do is do what Holton said. Just do it. So I am moving on, and I'm not saying that. Up to yesterday, I was sharing again with two of my friends, and the response I got from them was, okay, that sounds very good. Have you proven it? I said, yes, I have. Today I made $120 in my trading. And I'm saying,
Fantastic.
on Friday, was it Friday? Yes. Friday, I decided to go on my own, and I made 45. I say, Gloria, you're moving on, man. So I am saying to myself, and you said it, that if you believe in it, and from the first time when I listened to Mr. Hunt's video, when it was sent to me by my daughter, I believe that I had something good. And that is why I will not quit. I am not quitting. So who don't want to believe, that's them. But I am moving forward, and I believe that in the very near future, I'll be able to tell them, here, this is what it is. Are you ready now? So I'm saying that we have to truly believe in what we have. We have something good. Our leaders have not yet and will not deceive us.
Yeah, and so Gloria, I want to also share with you though. It's fantastic the results you have, and it's fantastic you're moving forward. But I want to also share with you the other side. Remember, I said that people, the cognitive dissonance, they'll have a thought process knowing that you're succeeding, but they won't be able to take the behavior, the action to do it, because they've been like, oh, well, you got in, it took you how many years to learn, and I don't have that time. Now they start to make the excuses of why they can't succeed, even though you succeeded. So I want you to understand that is that's also going to be the mindset of some of the people. You can't force someone to do something against their will, because they will be of the same opinion still.
So true.
Once their opinion changes for themselves, that's when they will be able to do it. But if they do it against their will, they will be of the same opinion.
What will it take for them to change?
It will change the education. This is where you educate and you start to show them. We'll look at this person's story, the testimonials. You start to just share the testimonials from profit snatchers and just start to show them all these different people. They'll have enough new evidence of success stories that now their belief system changes of, okay, maybe I can do it.
Yep.
So
I have been sharing.
Maybe your story alone is not going to be enough to change some people's opinions.
That's their problem. I'm moving on.
I know that. But I hope this has helped, guys. Just stay in the growth zone. Stay uncomfortable. I promise you, when you stay uncomfortable for long enough, you will become comfortable. You'll be happy in that new comfort zone, but don't stay in that new comfort zone for too long. Okay? Love you guys, and I will see you on the call tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.